You probably already know that preschool children learn a lot through music. Through catchy and accessible songs, kids learn about the alphabet, about different animals and animal sounds, and about all kinds of basic skills like teeth brushing, nutrition, and even kindness. But as often as we use music as a tool in our preschools for learning, for fun, or for transitioning from one activity to another, most children don't actually learn about the language of music until elementary school. While that might not seem like a big deal at first, it's the preschool years that are critical for developing the brain's centers for language and sound. This period is often referred to as the critical period for auditory development. It is during this time period that meaningful exposure to individual musical pitches can blossom into the wonderful musical skill of perfect pitch. Developing a sense of pitch during the preschool years teaches children to identify and distinguish different musical notes, much in the way we all learn to distinguish color. But as we already know, many preschool classrooms only use music as a tool for learning without actually focusing on the language of music in its own right. As a result, our children don't begin developing their sense of pitch until after the critical window for auditory development has closed. Considering this, and the fact that most of our preschools don't have full-time music teachers, it's no surprise that only 1 in 10,000 English-speaking people actually develop the coveted musical ability of perfect pitch. Outside of the English-speaking world, however, many children receive meaningful exposure to pitch through their native language. Take Mandarin Chinese, for example. Mandarin is a tonal language that relies heavily on pitch to convey meaning. Thanks to their tone-based language, children who speak Mandarin Chinese get plenty of meaningful exposure to pitch during the critical years for auditory development. As a result, almost the entire Mandarin-speaking world shows signs of some sense of perfect pitch. It helps to remember that perfect pitch is a range of skills, from being able to identify individual notes, to singing those notes accurately without a reference, to identifying groups of notes that we call chords. Like most skills, children will develop this ability at a different pace, but for the most part, 2 years of consistent and meaningful play with pitch between the ages of 3 and 5 will give a child a strong, lifelong sense of pitch. So, if we want to increase the musical literacy for our children, for our nation, or for the world as a whole, the answer lies in giving preschool kids this kind of exposure to pitch. Now, when you think of learning music, you probably think more about learning an instrument than about memorizing the sound of individual notes. Developing a strong sense of pitch actually makes learning your instrument much, much easier, and the two truly do go hand in hand. Having that musical ear turns playing an instrument from a potentially frustrating experience into a joyful and natural extension of your brain's already existing knowledge of music. Which brings us to the question of how do you teach your entire preschool how to play a musical instrument? Most teachers play background music in the classroom, whether it's for art time, playtime, or nap time, and while listening to music creates tremendous brain activity in its own right, actually playing a musical instrument combines both hemispheres of the brain in a way that's entirely unique. According to TED-Ed's Anita Collins, playing a musical instrument is the brain's equivalent of a full-body workout. It combines the powerful effects of listening to music with gross motor and fine motor skills, with pattern recognition, creativity, memorization, and flow. More recent studies have even shown that children who have fun experiences with music grow up to be better socially adjusted and generally happier than children who don't have positive and creative musical experiences. And simply put, playing a musical instrument is a fun and lifelong skill that improves confidence, creates opportunity, and provides joy. But whether you're a trained musician or not, teaching a classroom full of 3-year-olds how to play a musical instrument probably sounds like a cacophonous nightmare. And if you're not a trained musician, you might not even know where to start. Enter Preschool Prodigies, a 3-year early childhood music curriculum that makes it easy for teachers and schools to create powerful, colorful, and accessible musical experiences for their students. Whether you're a class of 10 students or a school group with 100 schools and 10,000 families, we make it easy for you to give your students both the cognitive benefits that come with playing a musical instrument and the lifelong advantages of receiving meaningful exposure to pitch during the critical years for auditory development. Our curriculum is a combination of color-coded instruments, video lessons, workbooks, and songbooks that scaffold the learning of music into a step-by-step process that is fun, simple, and almost error-proof. The videos are hosted by Mr. Rob, a beloved preschool music teacher, and feature a colorful cast of characters that gently guide your students toward playing their first musical instrument and developing their sense of pitch. Now, if you're still watching, you're probably curious about the details, so let's talk specifics. The curriculum is designed around completing 30 to 60 minutes of musical activity each week. Each week comes with a lesson plan to guide teachers through the videos, to explain the rationale, and to suggest follow-up activities for flipped classrooms or extended play. Each week also has take-home correspondence for parents so that they can stay up to date on their child's musical progress. Schools or school groups who join the curriculum will also be given access to the digital curriculum for every family in their school. This means that families can log into the curriculum from home and that kids can show off what they've learned while continuing to get more practice singing, playing, and hand signing. Remember, the key to developing a strong musical ear is consistent and meaningful play with pitch. So the ability to fire up lessons at home is a huge plus in making musical play more regular. The workbooks are also 100% integrated with the videos so that teachers and parents will have no problem planning and implementing musical activities each week. The songbooks are a more fun and general approach to learning nursery rhyme classics, and they work great as a musical center or as a lightweight practice book. While the video lessons are easy to understand for students and teachers alike, additional teacher training is available through monthly webinars with the PSP team. The team is also available for support of any kind via phone and email, and we are constantly communicating with our members to enhance everything about Preschool Prodigies. Let's look at the outline of the 3-year curriculum. Year 1 slowly introduces the main 8 musical notes through a colorful set of bells. The decibels that we use are the ideal starting instrument for young kids because they are colorful, durable, super easy to play, and more importantly, they are individual musical objects. By being able to limit a child to a select set of bells, you decrease the possibility for errors and greatly increase their chance for success. The program also utilizes the Kerwin hand signs, which pair the solfege syllables with kid-friendly hand signs. This connects the somewhat abstract idea of pitch with concrete kinesthetic motions, which in turn helps the child to memorize the pitch and makes singing a little less intimidating for shy children. The hand signs also provide an instrumentless alternative to the bells. Year 1 focuses mainly on the C major scale, which is the white notes on the piano, and we build the 3 major chords, C major, F major, and G major. Year 2 introduces minor chords and begins to introduce sharps and flats. Year 3 starts to shift away from reading color-coded music and into black and white music, and teaches children to transition from the bells to the piano. Each year consists of 8 core chapters, as well as supplemental and in-between rhythm chapters. Each year, children work from 2 workbooks and 2 songbooks. If you'd like even more specifics, visit preschoolprodigies.com/schools or email Mr. Rob at preschoolprodigies.com. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you inside the Preschool Prodigies playground.